Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am here to give you a quick update on our TTC journey. I'm sorry about my voice, it is a little bit raspy. I think I'm starting to lose it. I think I'm coming down with some kind of cold or some kind of something to do with the weather. I wanted to get this video filmed right now when everything is kind of fresh in my mind and like my emotions are here, and I can kind of explain to you like how I am feeling at the moment. In my last video, I think I was 9 days DPO when I made it, and my pregnancy test was negative. My cycles are a little bit longer than normal. They range anywhere from like 29 to 31 days. Since I was a teenager, they have always kind of been anywhere from 29 to 31 days. Most of the time they're kind of dead on at 30 days. It's really rare that I go like 31 days or even past that if I am not pregnant. This cycle I went a few days over, and it was so rough. At 10, 11, and 12 DPO, I took pregnancy tests and they all came out negative. Like stark white, no hint of any line, negative. When I saw those negatives, I kind of knew that I wasn't pregnant, although I felt like I was pregnant, if that makes any sense at all. I was having a lot of symptoms that were leading me to believe I was pregnant, and I don't know if it was in my head, I don't know if it's just because I was really feeling them, but it had nothing to do with being pregnant or what was going on. I was really tired, I was really nauseous, I was having like a lot of lower back pain and like cramping, and every time I took a test and it came out negative, like my heart kind of sank a little bit. I tested the day I was supposed to start my period and it was negative. The following day I tested, it was negative, and then the third day I tested and it was negative. And it wasn't until the third day late at night that I actually started my cycle. My cycle was 33 days long this time, which is kind of abnormal for me. For a lot of women, they don't have like a normal cycle like I do, so going a couple of days past when their little tracker says is not abnormal for them. For me, it's always kind of been normal, so that is just what I was going off of. When my cycle did start, it was actually really heavy, like heavier than it normally is, and it wasn't like a slow progression. It was just like bam, onset, like heavy. The only thing that it kind of reminds me of is like after you have your baby and you like go home and you're bleeding and you completely stop bleeding for like 2 or 3 days, like, you know, like when your baby's a week or two old and you go 2 or 3 days without having like any form of like anything, and then all of a sudden you stand up one day and like it just gushes out blood. That is kind of what happened. TMI, I know. There are so many videos on YouTube about when you're trying to conceive and then you have all of these symptoms and you're pregnant. But there aren't as much that show you that you have a lot of symptoms but you aren't pregnant. There are some out there, I know, but it's not as much as the ones that are pregnant, because it's something I feel like you don't really want to talk about. It's a bummer, it's a letdown. You like have your expectations and they come crashing down, and who wants to talk about that, right? I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that you're not going crazy. Like sometimes I feel like I was going crazy because I had all these symptoms and I was writing all of them down. Like I mean every little detail. If I was feeling emotional, if I was feeling sad, I had bursts of energy sometimes. I was so tired sometimes. I wrote everything down because they were actual real symptoms, and I didn't know at the time if they were maybe going to be pregnancy symptoms or if they were just going to be symptoms that I was just going through before I started my cycle. I think I kind of touched on this in my other video, but I don't really have a lot of PMS symptoms that I've ever really like noticed. But now that I look back at the last like 2 months of kind of jotting things down, I'm starting to think that I actually have like normal PMS signs. Not like overly crazy PMS signs, but just signs that my period is going to be starting. It's really tricky because a lot of the things that you're feeling could be PMS symptoms or they could be pregnancy related symptoms, and it's kind of that fine line that you don't know what is going to be expected. My cycle did go a little bit longer this month, and I have absolutely no idea why. One thing you're not supposed to do when you're going through anything in life is Google, because Google either gives you hope or gives you absolutely no hope by crushing all of your dreams. That is just kind of how I feel about Googling, but I do it all the time anyways, and you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. But I kind of Googled, you know, the things of why your period could be late. And I think it's more, I'm a smart person, I've had kids, I have common sense. I know why your period could be late. There could be a multitude of reasons, but it kind of just makes you feel better when you're kind of seeing what other women are going through or what another person is going through and knowing that you're not alone. So, you know, I Googled why could your period be late, or my period is 3 days late and I'm getting a negative pregnancy test, and a lot of things came up. It could have been because I was stressing my body out and my period was just delayed. It could be because I'm kind of have some kind of like cold going on and I was putting stress on my body, like physical stress, because my body was trying to fight this thing off, and that could be why it could be delayed. It just could be delayed because it was delayed. I am day 2 of my cycle and I am starting my 2nd month of TTCing. It is way too soon to start like TTCing, I guess, if you want to say it, but it is the beginning of my next cycle month. It is beginning of round 2 for us, and I am going to be approaching it a little bit differently this time. Last month, I was very prone on, okay, this is the date, this time, twice a day, blah, blah, blah. I was putting a lot of pressure on me and my husband, and it didn't really end up in a pregnancy. This month, I am going to be approaching things a little bit differently, more of a laid back approach. I'm still going to be using my ovulation test strips. I'm still going to be writing everything down. I'm still going to be looking at dates because it's something that kind of not takes your mind off of it, but makes you, it just kind of gives you something to do when you're in that wait time. But what I'm going to do differently this month are a couple things. For starters, I am not going to take a pregnancy test until I am like 35-day cycle, because this cycle went a little bit longer, so next cycle might also go a little bit longer. I have no idea. Maybe my body is just changing and it's all out of whack and I have no idea. So I am not going to take a pregnancy test until I am like 3, 4, 5 days late from when my cycle is expected to start. That is the first thing I am going to do, because I feel like all these women, they go on YouTube and they're like 8-DPO, 9-DPO, and they're getting all these positive pregnancy tests, but that is not reality for a lot of women. If you Google it, a lot of women do not get positive pregnancy tests until after their missed period. So it's so awesome and it's so cool for these women that get that positive pregnancy test before their missed period, but it kind of gives us other women who don't find out until after your missed cycle, it kind of doesn't give you hope, if that makes any sense at all. So one thing I want to do for myself is just kind of wait. I feel like that just adds stress to your body when it's not needed. So that is the first thing I'm going to do, or not do, I guess, is not take a pregnancy test until after my missed cycle. Number 2 and number 3, I went to the store and picked up 2 things to kind of get my body in baby making mode. The first one is prenatal vitamins. These are from Walmart. They are the VitaFusion brand. I actually use these my last 2 pregnancies, so I am not actually taking any vitamins right now. So I thought, you know what, this will just be a good start in getting my body on a healthier track to hopefully become pregnant. This one is like $7 or $8, maybe $9 at Walmart, and it lasts you about a month and a half. So I am going to start taking these and just, you know, try to get my body in a healthier place to hopefully be able to carry a baby soon. I got online and I ordered a fertility tea. I have absolutely no idea if it's gonna help, but we will give it a try. When I was nursing, I used a lot of the teas that are supposed to help boost your milk supply, and they actually really did help. I'm hoping that a fertility tea will just help in aiding my body to get on the right track of being able to carry a baby. The second thing I picked up, I have actually read a lot about this online, and a lot of women say that it works for them in helping to conceive, so we're gonna give it a go. I picked up the Mucinex tablets. This is what it looks like. I have absolutely no idea if these are going to work. I will link in the description box down below some of the articles. A lot of things that I've read say it kind of helps loosen up the cervix and help guide the sperm to your egg, so I have absolutely no idea. I'm going to give it a go. They say to start taking it right before you start ovulating, a few days before you start ovulating, and then a couple days past ovulation. My last thing that I'm going to be doing this month is really trying not to think about it. And I know that is super hard to say and it's super hard to like stick with, but I was really bummed this month because we didn't conceive. I know for everyone it's different, and you know, not everyone conceives on their first month, or sometimes people do conceive on their first month. But I was really thinking like, oh, it's going to be a walk in the park. Part of me was thinking that. It was just gonna be easy, like, oh, I've done this 3 times, I've got this, no problem. And then the other half of me was thinking like, oh my gosh, I had 3 pregnancies and they were so amazing and so wonderful that this time it's just gonna be harder. I was really sad. I know I'm not coming off sad because, you know what, I've had a couple of days to let this sink in and it is what it is. But I don't want to put that stress on myself. I don't want to put that stress on my husband. I don't want to put that stress on my family. I know that God has a plan, and sometimes we don't see his plan. We just have to go with it. And it's really easy to say, oh, God has a plan and I'm just gonna roll with it. But it's really not easy. Like, it's something that you have to put effort to. So my plan this month is to really do some self-reflecting and focusing on God has a plan, and it will all turn out the way it's supposed to. That is what I am planning on doing this next round of TTC. So this will be coming up on our second month, on our second round of trying. I am excited. I am hopeful. I am ready. I am just so ready to be pregnant, to finally complete our family, or what I think will complete our family. But like I said in my other video as well, if God does not have a 4th baby in store for us, then that is his plan, and our family will just be the way it is, and that is enough for us. I am not going to be that TTCer who posts every month like that they're trying and then it failed, and then they're trying and it failed. I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that we are starting our TTC journey, or we did start our TTC journey. It did not work the first month, and I feel like I was just putting so much pressure on it. I'm going to try new things every month. Hopefully one month it will just click and it will work, and I will be able to jump back on here and share with you guys our news that we are expecting. As of right now, we still have a while to go because we are just starting out a beginning of a new month. So we will see where this month takes us. Our plan is to try for about 6 months. After 6 months, it's not that we're not going to be trying, but I'm going to just take the pressure off of us and just not think about it at all. I'm going to track for 6 months. I'm going to give it my best for 6 months. And if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But hopefully I will be able to come back on here soon and share with you guys news that we are expecting baby number 4. Thank you guys so much for sticking around for this video. Make sure to give it a big thumbs up if you guys are also on a TTC journey, and leave your comments down below what works for you or what you have tried to kind of share in this community with everyone else. And I will see y'all in my next video. Bye guys.